guys, it's Coach Ariel here with Champions Westlake. I'm just going to wait a little bit and see if anybody hops on, but I am really excited to work with you guys today. We're doing our flyer flexibility class, and so I miss you if I haven't been able to see you, but if I've never worked with you before, I'm super excited that I get to work with you today, even if it's just through Instagram or through Facebook. So I'm going to be running lives on both Facebook and Instagram right now. So if I'm looking back and forth between the screens, it's because I'm trying to do both. So again, like I said, we're going to be doing our flyer flexibility class. And because I'm old and I have back problems, I might not be able to do everything for you guys. So I'm going to do my best to explain what I want you guys to do at home. But if I can demo it, I'm going to do my best to demo it. But I know that you guys are pros and you can do it on your own. So I am going to go ahead and get started before we just jump right into pulling our body positions and getting all crazy. We need to make sure we stretch because that's really important. You can hurt yourself if you just start pulling body positions or jumping straight into your splits. We want to make sure that we're keeping our bodies safe while we are being safe at home right now. So the warm-up I have for you guys, we are going to start with 30 jumping jacks. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm not going to do everything, so if I say you're going to do 30 reps, I will probably just demo it for you, and then you can pause it, or you can go back and rewatch it later, and then do those reps all together. I will do some of it with you guys, but just for the sake of time, and so that I don't get out of breath, I'm only just going to demo most of the things for you guys. Also, if you're here, feel free to leave a comment. I want to know who's here. I want to say hi to everybody. Okay, so we're going to start with 30 jumping jacks. So if you guys want to go ahead and do these with me, I will do all the warm-ups with you guys. So we're just going to go ahead and start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 10 more, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Whew, so that'll definitely get your heart rate up. And then you guys are going to do bottom kickers next, so you can put your hands on your hips. And what you're going to be doing is just kicking back on your bottom, so we're going to do 30 all together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Whew, I hope you guys are as out of breath as I am. Okay, and then we're going to do high knees. My recommendation is 30, but I'm just going to go ahead and do 10 really quickly with you guys. What I like to do when I'm doing high knees is put my arms out at 90-degree angles, so I make sure I'm actually getting my knees up and not just keeping them low, and I'm trying to hit my hands. So I'm just going to do 10 with you guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you're at home and you're watching, if you want to pause the video or play it back later, you can do all 30. And then we're going to do our hop squats. So we're going to high waist, hands on your hips. My mat is in the way. Okay. And so we're going to go up on our toes and do 2 hops and then 1 squat. I'm just going to do 5 for you guys, but at home you can do 10. So 5, 6, 7, 8, hop, hop, 1, hop, hop, 2, hop, hop, 3, hop, hop, 4, hop, hop, 5, and you want to squeeze clean at the end. Okay, cool. I hope everyone's heart rates are up and ready to go. I'm going to fix my mat really quick. And if you have water, after you've warmed up a little bit, got your heart rate pumping, go ahead and grab a sip. So next what we're going to do is we're going to do leg swings. So if you can find a wall or if you have a mat at home or a tall chair, you want to hold on with one side, and we're going to do it on both legs. And so you're going to put your other arm in a T, and you are going to swing back from your arabesque position, which is back here, and you want to swing all the way up to your heel stretch position. I expect you guys to be a lot more flexible than I am, so your swings will probably be a lot higher than mine. So you're going to do 30 at home. I'm just going to show you, I put on this table, I'm just going to show you a couple so you know what to do. So you want to keep this arm out here in a T. You want to make sure you're really squeezing it, not letting it bounce when you're swinging. And you want to make sure that your leg is really locked out and your toe is pointed. So you're going to swing back and up, and up, up. And you want to kick back farther than I can, but I'm limited on space here. And you want to make sure that you're holding onto the wall for your balance. And then I'm going to turn around and face this way. You do your other leg and you do 30 on each side. And you kick up, up. Just like that. So make sure you hit pause or come back and watch it. And you want to do all 30. So if you're doing them right now, I'll give you a second. And so next what we're going to do is our front kicks to lunge. And again, you're going to do 30 of these. So I'm going to show you guys sideways just so you can see. You want to put arms over your head like this. Make sure you're breathing. What you're going to do is you want to make sure you have enough space to lunge forward. I think I'm still in the frame. You want to kick up in front of you and then tap and lunge, and then you want to twist towards the leg that's down on the ground. Then you want to make sure you're squeezing so that you can feel it in your legs and your hip flexor, and then you stand back up. But you want to do it a lot faster than I did so that it's a continuous motion. So you kick, step, twist, and back up. And you're going to do 30 on each leg. So I'll show you guys on the other side. Kick, lunge, twist, and up. And you can do alternating legs. And just like that. And you guys want to make sure that when you're kicking your leg, you're pointing your toe. I don't want to see flex feet or bent legs because that ruins the point of the drill. You want to make sure you're squeezing everything. Get that tight leg kicked up, and then you're going to stretch your hip flexor when you go down in that lunge and turn. Okay, let's see. And then next we are going to do our hip flexor lunge. You are going to go down in your lunge position. Normally when we go down in our lunges, we focus on pushing our hips forward like this, and we're going to do that later, but right now we're going to activate a different muscle. So you want to make sure that your heel is directly under your knee, so you don't want it to be in front or behind, and that your knee is right under your hip. And so you want to be all the way up, and then you're going to put your hands on your knee like this. You want to push down, and you want to arch your back, but keep your chest up. You don't want to be down like this. Keep your chest up, squeeze your bottom and your abs, squeeze, 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 and you should feel it down in here. So you want to hold it for 30 seconds. Keep holding. And if you want to keep going, you can also hold it for a minute. Make sure you're squeezing your bottom, squeezing your abs. You can even point your toe in the back if you want a little extra conditioning. And then you want to release, and then you switch sides. Again, ankle directly under my knee, not in front, not behind, directly under. And my knee is directly under my hip, down here. So we take our hands, we arch our back, we don't drop our chest is still up, we arch our back, we squeeze our abs and we squeeze our booty, and you should feel it down your leg over here. And you want to hold for 30 seconds. I am breaking a sweat. I hope you guys are too. Remember, squeeze your bottom, squeeze your abs. You can work all these different muscles at the same time. Okay, and you can relax. Okay, now what we are going to do is we're going to do our regular lunges that we normally do when we're stretching, and we are going to do our splits as well. So I hope that your hip flexors and your legs and your arms and everything else is all loosened up and ready to get into some of the harder stuff like our splits and our body positions. So we're going to go into our right lunge. Now this time you want to have your ankle turn sideways. We're in our right leg lunge. Ankles should not be under your knee. It should be a little bit forward. Your hands are on your hip, and you're pushing your hips down and forward. You don't want your knee to go over your ankle like this. You want it to almost end up in line with your ankle, and you're pushing those hips forward, and you should feel it down in this leg, and even a little bit up here. You want to keep your chest up. We don't want to do this. We don't want to reach like this. We want to keep our chest up and push our hips forward. hold these for about 30 seconds. Then you're going to straighten your front leg. I always say nose to knee, or you can do chest to your legs. And I would point that front toe, reach down as far as you can, and hold this. You should feel this under here. Make sure this leg is locked out. Don't let it bend, because that is defeating the point of the stretch. You want to hold for 30 seconds. Okay, and then you are gonna go ahead and slide into your split. When we slide into our split, we want to keep our arms on the ground to help us balance. If splits are a little bit harder, you don't want to let your bottom sit on the ground like this. You want to be up over your hips. If your splits are all the way down, the under part of your thigh should touch the ground, but your bottom shouldn't touch the ground. And our front toe is pointed and our knee is straight. You want to hold for 30 seconds. I'm kind of surprised I can still do my splits, if I'm being honest. I hope all of your splits look just as good as mine. Okay, and then we're going to come out and switch our legs. So again, since we're in a different lunge this time, our foot is in front of our knee. Grab our hips. We push that hip forward. Your knee should end up right over your ankle. You should feel it down in here. Our chest is up. We're not leaning down. We're not grabbing our thigh with our chest. Remember, 30 seconds. And now we're going to sit back up. Straighten that front leg. Get your chest to your thigh or nose to knee. Put those arms out. Reach for your foot. Make sure that your front toe is pointed. Your leg is locked out. This isn't going to help. And hold it. Okay, and now we can go ahead and slide into our splits. This side might be a little bit easier to see, so I'm not sitting back like this. My chest is equally over my hips. Remember, the under part of my thigh is what should be touching the ground on my front leg, not my bottom. I don't want my bottom to touch the ground. And we need to make sure our toe is pointed. Roll that ankle under. Make sure your knee is locked out. We don't want to see splits like this. It won't help you with your heel stretches. And you want to also make sure, you can't really see it, but your back foot is rolled under. I'll scooch forward. Keep holding your split. You want to make sure your back foot is rolled under like this. Your shoelaces are on the ground. Don't let your foot be like this, because it's not going to help you when you try to stand up in full heel stretches. Okay, and then you can come on out. I'm going to grab some water. All right, so now we're going to do some quick wrist and shoulder stretches. You can do your favorites. I normally just like to roll my wrists out, push them on the ground. I know everybody has their own things they like to do. Whatever makes your wrists feel ready to go. And you can do some shoulder stretches like this. Reach across your body, hug your arm. And switch sides. You should really feel the stretch all in here. And you can do up above your head like this. And again, you don't have to do my stretches, but these are what I do to get ready to do my bridges and all of my tumbling, because we're going to do some bridges next to work on our back flexibility. So make sure you're stretching your shoulders. And the other side. And shake out your arms. Anything else you want to do, you can go ahead and do it. So my bridges are one of the things that I unfortunately can't do a lot of because of my lower back. I don't have a ton of back flexibility, which is why I was never a flyer. I will show you guys a regular bridge, but I'm not going to do much past that. So what we're first going to do is you want to do a regular bridge hold. And when you get up, you want to make sure that your legs are together like this. You don't want to be up in a bridge like this. Legs together, and you want to try to lock your legs out. I'm going to do the best that I can. And you want to make sure your arms are squeezed by your ears, so you don't want to be wide like this. So go ahead and bridge up. So you see how my legs are straightened, my feet are together. You can't really see that. But what you want to try to do is push your shoulders over your hands. I can't really do that great, but I know some of you can. So you want to push. You want to push your chest forward, reach over your hands. Keep those legs locked out. Keep those feet together. And that's going to help with your back flexibility down there. But so you want to get your arms, if you're like this, you want to be, your shoulders to be over, you want to be reaching over. So when I'm down on the ground, if my bridge is facing this way, my shoulders want to be over my hands this way. I don't want to be in front of them, I want to be behind them. Okay? So go ahead and do your bridges. Hold it for about 30 seconds if you can. Press over your shoulders. And then if you guys want to pull back over, you can wiggle your arms out, rest, or if you need to come down for a second, you can. And then what I want you guys to do is go back up into a bridge, and you're going to go down into an elbow bridge like this. So you're up. You want to drop one arm safely at a time. Don't drop both arms because that might hurt. You want to make sure you're grabbing around the back. You might not be able to keep your head in, so you can look back like this, but you don't want your hands on top because it might hurt. So drop down one arm at a time. And make sure you're pushing through. Try to get your shoulders again over your elbows. And make sure you're holding that. And make sure your legs are straight. You want to be right now focusing on squeezing everything, like everything you have. If you're losing your balance, you probably aren't squeezing hard enough. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your calves, point your toes, squeeze those knees together, squeeze your bottom, squeeze your abs, squeeze everything. You can go ahead and come down if you're still in it. But I'm going to have you go right back up, so shake those arms out. And so now what I want you guys to do is go back up into your bridge, and you're going to do one leg hold. So if I'm up in my bridge, let's say this is a real bridge, not a tabletop. You want to pick one leg up and try to hold, and you want to take it up as high as you can without bending it. So if I get here, and that's as high as I can go, but my leg starts to bend, I'm just going to hold it here, because that's as high as I can go right now. But once I keep working on my flexibility, I might be able to get it up here. So you want to hold for about 30 seconds, and then you want to drop your leg back down. And then you're going to go ahead and pick your other leg up and hold. And again, only as high as your leg can go when it's straight. If it's a bent leg, it's not helping you. We only want straight legs because those are the ones that help us get more flexibility for our body positions. So go ahead and switch your legs if you haven't. Hold the other leg. Okay, and go ahead and come down and rock and roll. If you guys don't know what that is, go like this. It's one of my favorite things about cheerleading. Okay, and so now we are going to start with some kicks. So we've moved on from our bridges, and now we're working on just kicking up, our kick up flexibility. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and lay flat on your back. So here we are. We're flat on our backs. We're going to put our arms up here above our head. And what you want to do right now is we are going to practice kicking our legs up, and you want to do 10 on each side. But the trick is to make sure both our hips stay on the ground. So I don't want to lift my hip up when I'm kicking. I want to make sure that I can feel both my hip bones on the ground, and I'm only kicking up as high as my legs can go with my hips staying on the ground. You want to make sure that you're really squeezing everything. You see how my leg is locked out, my toe is pointed, and even in this leg down here, you don't see me over here like this. You want to be really pointed, sharp with both of those legs. And you're just going to practice kicking up as high as you can. If you want an extra challenge, put your arms in a high V, like where you would catch a heel stretch, and just hold them there. You want to do 10 on each side. I'll go ahead and do it with you. 3. You're squeezing. 4. Your hips are on the ground. 5. 6. 7. And it's still in a high V. 8. 9. 10. And then you can relax. And then you're going to switch to the other side. So I can either have my arms above my head in a touchdown, or I can put them up in a high V. And again, both my hips are staying on the ground. I'm kicking that leg up as high as it can go with my hips still on the ground, locking out my knee, pointing my toe. I'm doing 10 on each side. really make sure that bottom knee is locked out, because if this were me standing up and I was kicking a heel stretch, my bottom knee shouldn't be bent because it's the leg I'm standing on, so it needs to also be locked out. I don't know what number I'm on. I'm going to say this is 10. Okay. Whew. So those are what we call our front kicks. And so you can do 10 on each side. You can always get in more reps if you want to. But now we're going to do our side kicks. So that means we're going to be laying on our side. You want to make sure that your arm is laying out like this, and you use your other hand to stabilize you. And so what we're going to do is we're going to kick our legs up, and we want to make sure that our hip is staying on the ground. So we don't want to let our hip come off the ground or let our hip go forward. And when we kick, we want to make sure that our knee is trying to kiss our elbow. I don't want my knee to be forward like this, because now you couldn't reach my shoulder. Oh, I think I said elbow. You want your knee to kiss your shoulder. So you want to rotate those hips. See how my knee is facing towards my shoulder now? I don't have enough flexibility to actually touch my shoulder, but you want to aim to make your knee kiss your shoulder. And so you want to see, you can see the back of my shoes. You don't see my shoelaces like this. This helps you get that, ooh, I lost my balance, get that overstretch flexibility. So you want to do 10 on each side. Your knee is turned back. You're squeezing that bottom leg, just pointing that toe. 10. Okay, and then you flip to the other side. Your other hand's on the ground bouncing, this one's laying down. Your hip stays on the ground, our legs are straight, and we're trying to make our knee kiss our shoulder. And you want to see the back of your foot, like you can see mine on the video, like that. You don't want to see the front of your shoelaces if you're doing it in front of the mirror. Whew, lose my balance. Even coaches mess up too. So make sure you're not letting that hip roll off the ground. Someone sent laughing faces. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate you. 9, 10. Okay, so you do 10 on both sides. Whew. Go ahead and grab water if you have some, because I need some. Okay, and then the last kick we're going to do on the ground before we do our body positions is our back kicks. So you want to lay down on your stomach with your chest propped up by your elbows. You don't want to be down, you don't want to be too high up, just on your elbows. And you want to feel that C curve in your back. So if you don't feel that arch in your back, you probably need to sit up just a little bit more, but not too much to where it's painful. So this is for our arabesque. So remember, keep both your hips on the ground. I don't have a lot of back flexibility, so I won't be kicking up very high. But if you can kick higher than me with keeping both your hips on the ground, that's great. Go for it. So remember, we're squeezing everything, squeezing our bottoms, squeezing our calves, locking out our legs, pointing our toes, and then you're going to do 10 on each side. And remember, control is better than your leg height. So see how I'm controlled, but I'm not kicking my leg very high. So if yours looks like mine, no worries. You just keep doing you, keep working on it so you can get your leg flexibility higher, but both my hips should stay on the ground. I can pick my leg up higher, but my hips off the ground. Hips are touching. You do 10. And then you switch sides. Remember, your chest is up and you're squeezing. Awesome. 10 on each side. All right. Now you should be a little bit sweaty, really warmed up, and ready to pull some body positions, which is what we're here for. So first we're going to start with our heel stretch. Every body position that we do, you want to make sure you're doing it on your right and your left side. I probably will not be able to demo most of these, but I can walk you through it. So if you're doing it with a parent at home, they can give you the tips that I'm giving you when you're working on it, or you can go back and just watch me, listen to the tips I'm giving, and see if you need to correct anything. I'm going to bring my computer out because I have lots to say. So when we're pulling our heel stretch, you're going to start in a high V motion. Whenever you kick your leg up, it just replaces the motion, and you grab it at the top. Your high V should not change. So I'm going to kick up a heel stretch. And you see how my high V did not change? I don't want it to be out here or down here. That's not a high V anymore. I want to kick it all the way up to my hand. Ooh, bad technique. You want to make sure when you're kicking up, your leg is locked down on the bottom. And make sure you have shoes on right now. Because when you're cheering, you will be competing in shoes. And I know it might feel easier to do it barefoot. And if you've been doing it barefoot so far, go put your shoes on. Because we will not let you compete without shoes. So make sure you're wearing shoes right now. And so whenever you kick up, like I said, hold that high V position. Your bottom leg is locked out. And something that helps me with balance is spreading my toes out like this inside my shoe. A lot of people, that's what they struggle with body position. So spread your toes out inside your shoe, push them down to the ground, lock out that knee, and you want to keep that body position in your high V. And you want to keep your hips squared too. So I don't want to be leaning like this. And by hips squared, I mean if I drew an imaginary square around my hips, it should stay in line. It shouldn't turn this. You want to square them to the front. So you're going to do that on your right and your left. And then next is our front stretch. So it's the same exact technique as your heel stretch, but you're grabbing with both of your hands. So I'm here, and then I reach and I pull up. Bad technique, my leg is bent, but for those of you who don't know, lock out that bottom leg. You grab it, and you want to pull up as high as you can. Make sure you're squeezing everything. If that bottom leg is bending, you can lower it a little, lock out that leg, and pull it all the way back up. And you want to make sure that your leg is directly in front of your hip. We don't want to see this. We don't want you to fall over. We don't want you to get hurt. So this should be right in front of you, almost right in front of your face. And you want to hold it for about 30 seconds if you can. Remember, right and left leg, so go ahead and do both. And then we have our bow and arrow. So you start in a regular heel stretch. Pretend my leg kicked up. I grabbed it. My arm's still in a high V. I'm going to grab it with both hands, and I'm going to lift up. And I want to rotate my hip. I could probably do this one. Lift up and rotate my hip so that it opens up. Do you see how my hip opened up? And then I'm going to pull the arm my leg, the same arm as my leg that I'm holding up, grab it, and you want to pull it through in a T motion, like this. I probably can't do this. So you grab your heel stretch, pull it into a front stretch, pull up, rotate your hip out, and pull your arm through. You're still holding on tight. Make sure you're not leaning. You want to stand up strong and tall. And you're just like this. And then you can let go and clean. Work on doing it on both sides, right and left. And then if you have that down, it's pretty easy. You can also focus on grabbing that foot and pulling it behind your head. So this is my leg. I'll pull it like this behind my head, not in front of my face because I want to see your pretty smiles. Pull behind your head if you can, with that arm still in the T. Okay, and then we have our arabesque. So arabesque, that drill we did when we were on our tummies, is what this is for. So you start, I face the side so you can see it, and you put your arms in a T. So whenever you're looking at me from the side, you don't see my T. You only see me just punching straight at the screen. And you want to keep your chest all the way up, and just lift that leg back. And my legs are locked out, my toes are pointed, my chest is up. If you're leaning over to get your leg higher, it's bad technique. Remember, keep your chest all the way up and focus on, losing my balance. Getting that leg up as high as you can with your chest up and everything squeezed. Remember, don't lose your T motion. You can look to the front and give it a pretty smile. Practice your facials. And go to clean. And then, again, on the other side, T motion. Kick your leg up, everything's pointed. You're smiling, your chest is up. We're not down here. We're up here with that nice arch in our back. And then we clean. Okay, and I have two more for you guys. So next is our scale. So whenever we are kicking our scale, we're again to the side. Oh, it's this side for me. And your arm should be in a high V, like this. So your chest is to the front, but your body's to the side. Getting a little bit winded. So you should grab your shin. When you kick this up, you're going to kick your leg backwards with your poise. Toe pointed. And you want to grab your shin. And you're in a high V like this. You don't want to grab your foot like this or your knee, because that just really hurts your back. You want to grab right in the middle, right on your shin. And you should have that C curve in your back. So I'm in my high V and I kick up. If you're a lot more flexible like me, you can practice, or not like me, you can kick up to your heel stretch and pull up. But I cannot do that. And you should work to make your leg straight. So right now it's not straight, it's kind of bent, but I want to work to get it straighter like that, arm up in a high V. So that's what you should be working towards, pulling that leg up higher and straighter, with keeping your hips squared, keeping that high V up in the air. And then we have our scorpion. I definitely cannot do this one. So whenever you're pulling your scorpion, you want to try and grab the shin or the ankle with both of your hands from the back, and you want to pull up and try to lock out those arms. The end goal is to get a needle, what we call it in cheerleading, which means locking out that back leg. So like a regular scorpion like this, not great, but if you grab that ankle and you want to pull up, get that leg locked out against the back of your head, and you want to work on it on both sides. So remember, anytime we're pulling body positions, our bottom leg needs to be locked out and our hips need to be squared to whatever direction our chest is facing whenever we set for the body position. If you're in a high V or you're in a T, that doesn't change just because you add a leg to it. So if I kick up my heel stretch, my high V doesn't go sideways, it holds up tight at the top. You want to make sure you're squeezing everything. That'll help you keep your arms in the places that they're supposed to be. So I want you guys to now try and hold these for about 20 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds on your own without falling over. Something fun you can do is time yourselves and see if you can beat your time like over the next week. So if I could hold my heel stretch for 10 seconds, my goal for tomorrow would be to hold it for 12 seconds. And once you get those body positions looking really good and you feel really proud of it, you should definitely post them on your stories, your mom's Facebook page, and tag us at Champions Westlake and Crush Cheer, because just because we can't be with you guys right now doesn't mean we don't want to see what you're doing. I would love to see how you guys are progressing on your own, how you guys are taking initiative, and just working hard, even though it kind of stinks that we can't all be together. So I want to thank you guys for all joining in and hopefully breaking a sweat like I was. Feel free to go back and watch this again. Make sure you get those reps in. If I say do 30, actually do 30, because if you do 10, it might not get you to where you want to be. So if you're serious about your body positions, take these stretches seriously, because they should get you where you want to be. And hopefully the next time I get to see you guys, we will all have amazing body positions. All right, guys, I hope you stay safe out there. I hope to see your stuff on social media. So thank you for coming.